Hi, my name is Dana Arnett, co-host of Wicked Marketing, along with my partner, Carlos Cepene. You can find more information about us and our business on LinkedIn, or if you have any questions, email us at info@wickedbionic.com. Subscribe to Wicked Marketing on Apple Podcasts and write an awesome review for us. We're also on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Google Play. We're here today to talk about analytics, how to use analytics in your digital strategy and use it to your advantage. A lot of people talk about Google Analytics, and Carlos is probably one of the smartest people I know at understanding how to use it. And so, Carlos, what do we know?
Yeah. So I think, it depends on your size of business and what you've done thus far. So I'm going to try and cover from the basic to a little bit more complex for the use of analytics. But overall, the way to look at it is your website is not only your website or app or whatever you're using out there, even if it's your newsletter, is not just a printed document, right, that you're handing people. It is a dynamic, living, sort of breathing mechanism, right, that can gather information for you to help you make better decisions. And those decisions can be digital marketing decisions, or it could be brick and mortar marketing decisions, because it gives you the chance to learn from your customer. So whereas in the old days, people would fill out cards when they would go.
Right, little survey kind of cards.
Little survey cards. I remember those at Blockbuster back in the day.
Blockbuster, yeah.
Blockbuster. I'm really dating myself now. These tools give you the opportunity to learn about your clientele. And that is important because you need to know who your client is so that you can optimize your product or service so that you get more of those clients. And I always talk about the term, which is a marketing term, of lifetime value. The more you learn about who your clients are that have a longer lifetime value for you, the better you're going to perform. What do I mean by lifetime value? What I mean is it is always better to have a client that will come in every month for a year and spend $100 with you than a client that comes in once and spends $200.
That's exactly right.
Right?
Exactly.
So you want to figure out who these people are, who are the people that I'm engaging with, who are the people that are resonating with my brand.
Because you want more of them.
That's really where you're going to grow. That's where you're going to really make money, right? And that's where your services are going to be of use to people. That's where you're going to know if the services that you're providing are of use to the people that you want them to be of service to. So to oversimplify it, there's tools out there that are free. One of the most popular ones is Google Analytics. It's a free service, and I always laugh when I say it's a free service because Google's using it to collect all that data for their own purposes.
It's all for them, but that's an aside. That's a marketing aside issue.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. They know everything about everyone anyhow. But it's a tool that's simple enough to put on your website, right? You do need at least a basic knowledge of either code or WordPress or whatever tool you're using to manage your website. I think places like Wix make it easier for you to put in Google Analytics, but it doesn't always fire correctly.
And every single website should have Google Analytics on it.
Or some
version of, but the most popular.
But Google Analytics is the most popular. So let's talk about the sort of things that you can learn from Google Analytics. If you are a national business, you can learn what areas of the country you're performing better in, right? What areas of the country are looking for your product or service more. If you are a local, then it can help you in that same way. What zip codes around you are the best places where people are looking for your services? That way, if I'm going to do, let's say I go old school and I'm going to do a mail out, right? I'm going to send out mail coupons or whatever. You pay per zip code to send out those mail outs, right? Wouldn't you rather spend the money in the zip codes that you know that there's people that are actually interested in your service?
As we say, fish in the pond where your people are, not in the ocean.
Exactly. So fish where the fish are in your pond instead of trying to look for them all over the ocean.
You'll save a ton of money.
A ton of money, and you'll also learn about yourself, your product, your messaging, your clients. So a lot of people put Google Analytics on their site, and then they're like, okay,
Done.
done.
Well, because they don't know how to interpret it, right? Unless they
Yeah.
have a marketing agency that actually knows how to interpret it. But many say, yes, my developer, they come to us all the time. Yes, my developer put Google Analytics on. We're like, okay, can you give us your login or create a user for us? I don't know how. I don't know how to do that. And it's only because that's really not what they do. They sell a product or a service.
Yeah.
So you need somebody behind you. And I wanted to say, too, the point of Google Analytics, or where it's picking up in our instance that we're discussing, is it's analyzing each of your web pages. That's where you're getting the data from in the customer interactions.
Yeah. So at the very basic, you should make an effort to either have someone that can help you read through Google Analytics, or can at least create a very basic report for you that gets sent to your email, which you can do that through Google Analytics, or at least learn the very basic things that you can learn from it.
Can I just interrupt and say, it is one of my favorite things to look at, and because we do what we do, we want to see if it's working, which Google Analytics tells us that. But it is so fascinating that you can find what country your customers come from. Are they in Los Angeles? What city they come from? What the demographic is, or the makeup of this particular audience, male, female. It's so interesting to find out who you're resonating with. So it's cool as well.
And it's also going to save you money.
Exactly.
Because, again, going back to this whole thing with all these experts out there that people are paying, a lot of them come back to clients, and we've had this happen in the past, and they say, oh, we grew your website by 30%. You now have 30% more people coming to your website. And then we look at their Google Analytics, and these are people in India, China.
Not their target market.
Not their target market, not even people.
Right. Well, we know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not even humans, they're bots. So it's purchase traffic. So not to go down that negative route, but it's like
Analytics will tell you exactly where those people are coming from. Analytics will tell you
what's going on here. The other thing Analytics will tell you is normally if you have a set of products or services that you offer, because not everybody offers just one product or one service. What it will also tell you is what are the products or services that are more popular amongst your existing clientele and possible clientele, right? Because if you're not, let's just say you're not doing any sort of digital marketing right now. The people that are coming to your website are going to be who? Your clients, the people that already know your brand.
Or word of mouth.
Right, or word of mouth. So it will help you identify what are the top pages on your website.
Or the top products you sell out of your 12 that you have listed on your page.
Yeah. I remember when we first started doing digital marketing in the legal space. And we had a client, we have a client, they're still our client, who's a friend of mine who came to me with, I need your help, and I need to build this platform, and I'm going to build this huge law firm, and which he did. And Dana and I were looking at each other going like, okay, well, it's a new learning experience. Let's see what are the things that are a priority to people to understand about the legal space. And we started looking at analytics and at performance and where people were coming from, what they were looking at, and come to find out in the legal space in particular, the attorney biography pages are the most popular section.
The homepage was usually not even looked at.
Yeah, it's the attorney. I thought it was their practice areas, right?
That's true, right? I remember.
Litigation,
right?
People coming to find out about their litigation practice,
M&A.
or people coming to mergers and acquisitions, and so what we came to learn was that a lot of that traffic was coming from other law firms.
That's right.
And I discussed it with one of the attorneys at another law firm that's a client of ours, and he explained to me that one of the key benefits of having an effective biography page on your website had been, for him at least, in the fact that a lot of law firms need outside counsel to help them at different times in different cases, because they may know more about something that they don't know about, but they have the client.
Right.
And they don't want to lose the client.
Of course
right?
not.
They want to keep the client. So they'll partner. They'll bring someone. And the way that they would flush out who they should embed, who they should talk to, was looking at the bio pages.
So what we saw that we had no idea was, because you're not selling your attorney services online in essence, that, I'm just going to find these people and then, sign them up. But what people were doing is they were going to the bio pages of these attorneys simply to vet them.
Yeah.
What was their history? Were they interesting? What did they look like? Everything, to see if they were the right people, whether you were a potential client, or you were a partner.
Yeah. And that's, at the very essence of what we're talking about here. Just learning by seeing the reaction. And a lot of times it's on unexpected reaction by looking at your top pages on your website. Right? Your top pages is something that shows up in your dashboard on Google Analytics. So as soon as you log into Google Analytics, that'll be one of the elements that shows up there. And that will tell you where a lot of people are going. And then the other thing that it will tell you is something called the bounce rate. How many people are leaving from that page.
How fast they're leaving.
And how fast they're leaving, too, which is the time on page. Right? And then you can decide whether or not if that's enough time for them to read everything you're wanting them to read on your page or not.
And what that looks like, I go to a web page, and how fast do I leave it? Either I leave the whole site, or I go to another page. How fast am I staying on that page? So how fast are you bouncing off is what that means. And so if there's an 89% bounce rate, literally you're getting to the page, it's loading, and the person's leaving.
Yeah.
So that's why a low bounce rate is what's important.
Yeah, somewhere around 50%. We have clients that are at 30%, which is pretty good, and yet they still a lot of times want to change the content of the page. What you want to do then is realize that, yes, it may take some effort, it may take a little bit of time, but the value to you is there. A lot of people think I put Google Analytics on my website because I need to have Google Analytics because that's what everybody says. Well, there's a reason why everybody
If you don't
says
use it, it doesn't matter whether it's there
then
or
you're
not.
just giving data to Google.
Right, right.
You're literally just giving data to Google and not doing anything with it. And it's a huge missed opportunity as a business. It's almost like having a suggestion box at your office that you never read the suggestions
That's
for.
a good-
Then
that's a
what's
good way to look at
what's
it.
the purpose of the suggestion box, right? Then if you're serious about improving your business, learning about your business, growing your business, making more revenue, you don't have to be continually reinventing the wheel. You have to look at the data that you're getting for free.
Right.
And learn
It tells you what you're doing right or wrong.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah. And it gives you a chance to change.
That's right.
And it gives you a chance to learn from that change. And that change may not always be good. You may change something and your bounce rate may go up. Who cares?
Change it back.
This is not printed material.
We pivot all the time because even if something is performing well or pages are performing well, and that maybe there's a new offer out, that a new product offer or something, it changes. We look at these daily for our clients. It changes, and then we have to pivot because nothing's static on the web.
Yeah. There's a bit of a leftover behavior, I think, on the Gen Xer side from our days. Actually, I'm a Zennial, so their days. When things
So
had
glad
to
you
go,
admitted that.
Yeah, when things had to go to print.
Right.
Remember?
Right.
We're going to print. We're going to print. We're going to print. Once it's gone to print.
Bye.
It's gone to print. That magazine's coming out.
Whether it's spelled right, whether it's
with
looking
that
good.
Starbucks coffee cup sitting at the Game of Thrones finale, it's coming out, right? So.
Okay, wait. I got to say something really fast. I don't know if I ever told you this story, but I used to work in television, and we were doing this show on called Flying Wild Alaska. It was an awesome show. I think we did it on Discovery. It's been a while. And I was person that looked at every single episode of every single show. Mine were the last eyes on it before they aired, and I was watching this episode and getting it out the door for air, and there's somebody, this guy is sitting at the desk, and he's doing an interview. It's a docu kind of reality show, and he had a coffee cup. That's why I thought of it. Coffee cup on the table, and awesome, great, deliver it to the network. Well, when it aired, that coffee cup, and I'm so sorry to say it, but I can say it on a podcast, the coffee cup said, "Fuck cancer."
Oh.
The F word. The F word aired. Oh,
FTC.
boy. And and those viewers called in, and boy, and it was, I solely missed it. So yes, I get it. That's why we pay attention.
So the web is not like that. The web is live.
Yep.
And you can go up there and change things and revert things and bring them back. I would not put "fuck cancer" up there on your website.
But if you made a mistake, you could go in and literally fix it in a minute.
Yeah, and you can fix it, and you can learn from it, and you can improve based on it. So that's at the very basic, right? Let's talk a little bit more for the people that are sort of mid-tier, that have Google Analytics, that look at these reports, that know top pages and things like that. And so for them, what I say is, if you're at that level, there's always more. There's always more data on there. So one of the things that I like to do for clients is use events. Events is a capability within Google Analytics where you can track specific actions on a website. So not only can you track where people are clicking, what percentage of people are clicking, but you can pull a report if you have it implemented correctly that tells you the text that was on the button that they clicked, which of the buttons was it, even if you have the same text on multiple buttons, which is the one that they like to click on. And those kind of things help you learn. Because
how long it takes for them to scroll to the bottom of the page. Did they stay there? Did they? It's like being a fly on a wall and sitting on the shoulder of a user.
Yeah.
Going through your website, we know exactly what they're doing. Not who they are, but we know what they're doing.
Yeah, and tie it back to, for example, a previous podcast we did on newsletters. Right. One thing I love to do when a client is sending out a newsletter is on Google Analytics. When you're logged in, on the left, under the menus, you're able to go into an area called real time. And real time is literally what's happening on your website right now. Real time. So the moment that you send out that newsletter in the morning, right, you can see the people from your newsletter, the most eager people, the most engaged people, which are usually the people that are most resonating with your brand,
right,
fly into your site,
right,
like birds getting to a lake, and immediately you can see where they're going.
Well, and isn't that the same on a social post? You put a social post, you're driving them back to your website. You see exactly, especially if it's a hot button issue or something that you're talking about.
So tricks like that help you differentiate between, okay, the people that are really engaged with my brand, the people that are really loving what I'm doing, and the people the stragglers that come later.
Right.
Right. If you really want to know the people that are really engaged, that are really active with your brand, then you try things like that.
For sure.
And you see, where are they going? What are they looking at? And I think, the more you start learning about these things, the more nerdy and exciting they are.
I've become nerdy.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. See, and we're both talking about this. If you could see us, we're both smiling. We're both happy because it's so much fun to us because you can affect a change by knowing. Yeah. And that's
And I have to tell you, because I've been so many years in this industry, that you get to a point that you feel like, I know it all. I know how to do this. I know. I sit with a client and I'm like, oh my God, okay. Here's the first 22 steps you have to take right now in order for your brand to even start doing something for you. And then with time, if you really are passionate about it and committed, what you come to realize is there's so many things that you would do for one client that are absolutely the worst things that you can do for another.
That's right.
And one thing that can bring Dana 100 new clients can lose me 10.
That's right.
Because people are different. Because people change. Because people change every day. Mm-hmm. Because the person that bought at your store today comes in tomorrow and their mother died. Right. Or they lost their job. Or they have a new job. or they have a new wife. We're people. The same as the web that you can change it on the fly, we change on the fly.
Right. We're not static.
And you have to continually learn
right.
of what you're doing and how it resonates.
And that's what's fun about our business.
That's what's fun about it. Yeah. All right. So if you're finding this helpful at all, you can subscribe to us on Apple Podcast app. I don't even say iTunes anymore because I don't even know if it's still.
It's still, but
it's
it won't
still,
be.
But it won't be. You can also find us on iHeartMedia. You can find us on Spotify. So we're basically all over the place.
Or subscribe to all.
Yeah, why not? And download in every one of the platforms.
Have a great day.
Have a great day. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for listening today. Don't forget to subscribe to and share Wicked Marketing on Apple Podcasts and write an awesome review for us. We are also on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Google Play. See you next time.